He never should have stopped. Elias Ward kept repeating that to himself as his boots echoed through the belly of Subline 6, the largest underground magrail maintenance corridor beneath the megacity of Knoxbridge. The tunnel stretched for miles, humid, metallic, vibrating faintly with power coursing through the tracks. High above, millions of people lived their lives under neon skies. But down here, at 3:14 a.m., it was just humming generators and the constant throb of machines. He checked the time again on his cracked wristpad. 3:14 a.m. Shift complete. Custody hearing, 12 days. 12 days until a man in a glass tower decided whether he could keep Samuel. Elias rubbed tired eyes with grease-stained fingers. He was 34, bone-deep exhausted, and working overtime in a job that paid barely enough to cover the rent of their shoebox apartment. Tonight's shift had been brutal, clearing debris, sealing wire panels, resetting power nodes, all while pretending his world wasn't on fire. If he missed a single shift? If he clocked out 1 minute early? Child services would use it against him. He adjusted the strap of his tool bag and kept moving toward the exit lift at the far end of the corridor. The air smelled like hot metal and burnt ozone, the scent that never washed off no matter how many showers he took. Just a few more minutes. Home. Sam would be asleep on the couch, waiting. He rounded the last turn. And stopped dead. Up ahead, in the isolation zone where no one should be at this hour, a single transport cart sat dead on the magrail. Emergency marker lights pulsed along its frame, reflecting sharp blue against the tunnel walls. The magnetic field beneath the rails flickered like a dying heartbeat. But that wasn't what froze him. Someone was there. A woman in a sleek graphite uniform, standing beside the stalled transport cart, tapping furiously at the side panel. Her posture screamed controlled panic, shoulders straight, movements precise, but her breathing gave her away. She was rattled. Her wrist display emitted a faint golden glow. Only one type of clearance badge glowed gold. Corporate executive. High clearance. Above civilian rank. Elias's heart thudded. People like that didn't walk underground. They didn't breathe this stale air or touch these filthy handrails. They existed in sky lounges and autonomous limos, not down here in the rust-spined arteries of the city, where working people broke their backs. His survival instinct screamed. Keep walking. Clock out. Go home to your kid. He shifted his weight to leave. Then her voice carried down the tunnel, sharp, tense. Come on, just reboot, please. The control panel stayed dark. She slapped it in frustration, not violently, just once, like someone who wasn't used to machines ignoring her. Elias swallowed hard and forced himself to look away. He had every reason to walk past. Executives had insurance. Executives had people. Executives didn't need him. He took 2 steps. And stopped. A memory surfaced. Samuel, age 6, wrapped in a too small blanket, whispering, "Dad, people should help people." He exhaled through clenched teeth. "Damn it," he muttered, rubbing the back of his neck. "Why can't I just mind my own business?" He approached slowly, hands visible. "Ma'am?" His voice echoed, rough from hours without speaking. "You need help?" She turned, startled. Up close, he noticed details. Her hair, dark, tied back with precise efficiency. Her uniform was corporate, but nothing like he'd seen. Matte fabric, no logo. Her eyes sharp. Calculated. Not scared of the dark. Scared of being stranded. "I'm fine," she replied quickly. Too quickly. Defensive. The cart just died. "I need to be at Central Hub in 10 minutes. "Central Hub?" Elias frowned. "That's 5 kilometers north. Even if the mag line reboots, this section is offline." Her jaw tightened. "It's a sealed shuttle. It doesn't require the line." She cut herself off. "Not doesn't. Shouldn't." He gestured toward the undercarriage panel. May I? She hesitated, measuring him, calculating risk, but finally stepped aside. Do whatever you're going to do, she said, trying to control her voice. Just, please get it running. He knelt beside the transport cart, tugged open the tech panel, and winced. A power conduit had blown. Elias whistled softly. This isn't a reboot problem, he said. Your primary node overloaded. Can you fix it? That depends, he replied. Got a portable microconduit? Or a spare fuse? She blinked. I have no idea what that means. He almost smiled, the first in days. I figured. He dug through his tool bag, pulling out a compact field battery, a conductor strip, and a roll of industrial cable tape. The essentials of a poor man's engineering kit. He heard her shift behind him, her voice quieter. You seem familiar. Maintenance techs all look the same in the dark, he joked. She studied him seriously. No. Not that. You feel familiar. He kept his eyes on the damaged fuse. People usually don't feel anything about maintenance workers. That's not what I meant. He didn't answer. Talking to people like her felt like stepping into someone else's world, a world Elias wasn't invited into. The cable sparked as he connected it to the auxiliary power node. The transport cart flickered, lights pulsing back to life. She watched him like he was solving a puzzle in midair. How did you know to do that? I've kept a lot of things running that should have died years ago, Elias said, voice flat. Broken things are kind of my specialty. She opened her mouth, maybe to ask something deeper, but he stood, brushing off his hands. Try it now. She slid into the pilot seat. The console blinked green. Engines hummed. Relief washed over her face, quiet, controlled, but unmistakable. How much do I owe you? She reached for something in her pocket, probably a company credit chip. He stepped back, shaking his head. You don't owe me anything. But you needed help. I was here. That's all. She stared at him, expression shifting, something like respect. You didn't even ask my name. Elias paused, adjusting the strap on his tool bag. You looked like you had enough going on already. For a flicker of a second, her composure cracked. I did. He nodded once and headed toward the exit path. Behind him, her voice followed. Wait, at least tell me yours. He turned. Elias Ward. Her lips parted, just slightly. I'm... A comm signal beeped in her wrist display, interrupting her. She swallowed her words. Thank you, Elias Ward. The transport cart shot forward, the tunnel vibrating as it vanished into darkness. He watched the fading lights until they disappeared completely. He didn't know she'd left something behind on the ground. A small black data card. He didn't see it until he stepped on it. He picked it up. A gold seal symbol glinted on the metallic surface. Adjudicator Council. Top authority. Meaning. She wasn't just an executive. She was someone who could decide a person's future. And he had no idea. For the next several days, Elias tried to forget the encounter. Tried. But the data card sat hidden inside a drawer beneath Samuel's stack of school robotics manuals, and every time Elias opened it to find a screwdriver or wire cutter, the card stared back. Black. Metallic. Embossed with that gold seal. Adjudicator Council, Level 7 clearance. He had Googled it once. Only once. Then he'd slammed his browser shut when he read. Level 7, authority to override corporate tribunals and determine case outcomes without appeal. He should have left it in Lost and Found. He should have turned it into security. Instead, he shoved it back into the drawer because he wanted one thing more than he wanted: sleep, or dignity, or breath. A fighting chance to keep his son. The city's legal guardianship board didn't care that he worked 3 shifts. They didn't care that he made Samuel pancakes shaped like dinosaurs every Sunday. They cared about income stability and time availability. He had neither. Tonight, when he returned home, he found Samuel asleep on the couch, small body curled under a blanket that had seen better years. A half-finished research model sat on the coffee table, tiny wheels, wires, motors, a circuit board. "Dad?" Samuel mumbled without opening his eyes. "I'm here, buddy." "You didn't miss dinner again, did you?" Elias swallowed hard. "I ate at work." A lie. Samuel's eyes opened. Soft brown. Too wise for his age. "You smell like solder." Elias laughed. Caught. Samuel sat upright suddenly, all bright energy. "Dad, guess what? Miss Carter says if I bring a working motor to school for robotics day, I can enter the district competition. That means I might qualify for scholarship tracks." Elias's heart squeezed. So much hope. So much pressure. "That's great, Sammy." "I could go to the academy," Samuel said in a hushed voice, like he was afraid speaking it aloud would jinx it. "We just need to buy real components. Not recycled ones from the maintenance bin." Elias froze. Real components equals money they didn't have. He ruffled Samuel's hair gently. "We'll figure it out." The boy nodded, sleepy and satisfied. "Promise?" Elias forced the word out. "Promise." After tucking him into bed, Elias opened the drawer again, staring at the data card. What if? What if she was part of the guardianship system? What if she could help him? And what if she didn't remember him at all? 9 days passed. He tried to return the card to corporate headquarters. Security wouldn't even let him past the lobby. "For clearance matters, use the AGP kiosk," the guard said, pointing toward an automated station. "Scan your citizen ID." He did. The kiosk beeped. "Access denied." It displayed a chilling line of text. "Forbidden possession of classified authority property, Section 51A. His stomach dropped. He backed away slowly and left the building like it was on fire. On the 12th day, the tribunal summons arrived. Mandatory attendance, tribunal review. Charge, asset misallocation and identity forgery. Defendant, Elias Ward. Asset misallocation. Identity forgery. Corporate language for "you stole from us, and you falsified documents to hide it." He didn't need to read further to know what that meant. Prison. Loss of custody. Game over. The tribunal chamber was a different world, permanent daylight from artificial skylights, seamless surfaces, glass walls that revealed endless floors of power and privilege. Elias stood in the center of the floor behind a yellow caution line like a man on display. 3 figures entered the dais. The presiding adjudicator stepped forward, robes draped with the gold seal matching the card hidden in Elias's pocket. Elias froze. It was her. The woman from the tunnel. But she was different here, hair neatly pinned, shoulders squared, voice precise and measured. "Proceed," she instructed, without looking at him. She didn't recognize him. Or she was pretending not to. The prosecutor wasted no time. "Your Honor, we have records proving Mr. Ward diverted high-value power conduits over a period of 41 days, using falsified technician IDs to mask traceability." Elias's pulse hammered. He had fixed a conduit in that tunnel using his own field battery. That's why his ID signature might be on the logs. Whoever framed him knew that. He opened his mouth. "Your Honor." "Speak only when addressed," the prosecutor snapped. "We request immediate sentencing. No need to drag this out." She, the adjudicator, didn't react. Her expression was unreadable marble. Still not looking at him. The prosecutor continued. "Evidence has been verified by system logs." Defending counsel waived representation. Elias blinked. "I never waived representation." "Your digital acknowledgement was filed last night," the prosecutor said. "I didn't sign anything." "You did," the prosecutor replied coolly. Your biometric tag is attached. That meant his signature was forged. Panic surged, tight, strangling. He looked up at her, desperate. Her eyes remained fixed on the datapad in front of her. He could see himself reflected in the surface, small, forgettable, dirty compared to the pristine white floor. The prosecutor pushed forward. Given the volume of evidence, we request. A soft click interrupted him. Her stylus stopped. She spoke. Show me the originals. The prosecutor blinked. I'm sorry? The original access logs, she repeated. Not these copies. This is standard procedure. Originals require. I didn't ask about standard procedure. The room stilled. Even the air system seemed to stop breathing. Produce the originals, she said again, now with steel beneath the calm. The prosecutor stiffened. That would take time. The record request must go through. No, she interrupted. If you want to end this quickly, produce them. Otherwise, we proceed differently. She tapped her display. Effective immediately, I am ordering a forensic data audit. Gasps echoed. The prosecutor paled. Your Honor, that's unnecessary. Her gaze lifted, finally meeting Elias's. Recognition flashed. It was quick. Controlled. Gone in an instant. But it was there. I will not pass judgment on corrupted data, she stated. The tribunal room erupted into murmurs. Adjourned until audit completion. She lifted the gavel. The sound cracked like lightning. Elias couldn't breathe. She did remember him. She just couldn't show it. As he exited the chamber, he felt a hand brush against his. A slip of paper. He didn't turn. He didn't look at her. Not until he was in the hallway, heart beating out of rhythm, did he unfold the tiny note. 5 handwritten words. You didn't steal anything. And below it. Let the audit prove it. His vision blurred. He read it again. And again. Every breath shook. Someone believed him. Someone with power. Someone who could change his future. But as he tucked the note into his pocket, he remembered the data card, still hidden in his drawer. He had her authority card. She knew. She was warning him. And now both of them were in danger. The forensic audit didn't happen quietly. It tore through the corporation like a spark thrown into dry brush. 3 days after the tribunal, whispers echoed across the maintenance tunnels. Elias heard fragments, janitors pushing carts, drone operators at meal breaks, text swapping rumors beside coolant vents. Someone challenged the tribunal decision. Impossible. They never do that. No one challenges data logs. An adjudicator ordered an audit? Who the hell was it? Every time he overheard his name, he walked faster, heart pounding. Every time someone mentioned a level 7 adjudicator, his palms went slick with sweat. He didn't tell anyone about the note. He didn't tell anyone about the data card hidden in his drawer. And he definitely didn't tell anyone that someone with the authority to determine verdicts with a single decision, someone who should have ignored him completely, was risking everything. For him. For a maintenance tech with grease in his fingernails and a son who still wore mismatched socks. On the 4th night, he found Samuel in the living room, scribbling aggressively with a marker. What are you working on? Samuel spun the poster toward him. It said Winning Robo Expo in letters that tilted wildly in 6 directions. I'm designing my booth, Samuel announced. Miss Carter says judges love presentation. Elias blinked. Judges? Samuel sighed dramatically. Dad, every competition has judges. The word slammed into him. Judges. Adjudicators. Authority. He swallowed past the burning in his throat. You'll do great, he whispered. You always do. Only if we build the motor, Samuel said. We need the real components. The good ones. Elias knew that. He also knew he couldn't afford them. He reached for his wallet. 2 crumpled bills. A transit chip. Nothing else. Then, the memory of the data card scratched at him. A card that connected him to someone powerful. Someone who believed him. He shook the thought away. He couldn't use her. She had already risked too much. 3 days later, his wristpad buzzed. Tribunal reconvened. Mandatory attendance, 9 a.m. tomorrow. The air left his lungs. He read it again. Samuel peeked around the corner, wearing robot pajamas and holding a tray. Breakfast, 2 pieces of buttered toast shaped into crooked hearts. I made them, Samuel announced proudly. They taste like victory. Elias sat heavily. Buddy, we need to leave early tomorrow. Why? I have to talk to some people who make decisions about things. Samuel placed the tray in front of him, voice small. You mean the people who can take me away? Elias froze. Samuel's eyes shimmered. You think I don't hear things? You whisper in the kitchen at night. You say custody hearing and they don't care. He blinked fast, fighting for control. Sam. Samuel wrapped his arms around him. Even if they try, I'll run away and come back. I always find you. Elias held him, burying his face in Samuel's hair. He couldn't lose this kid. Not to paperwork. Not to a broken system. And somewhere in the city, a woman in authority robes was taking a sledgehammer to that system for him. Tribunal hearing number 2, 9 a.m. The room felt colder than last time. Colder than the tunnels even. The prosecutor entered with confident, smug steps. The adjudicator entered last. Her robe moved like a blade slicing through air, controlled, disciplined. When she sat, she didn't look at Elias. Didn't look at anyone. Her voice was steady. We reconvened to present findings from the forensic audit. The prosecutor stepped forward. We object to the audit. The logs were. She raised a hand, silencing him. Show the results. The lights dimmed as a holographic display flickered to life. Visual code. Timestamps. Access IDs. Elias's name. Again. 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 He felt sick. The prosecutor smiled. As we see, Mr. Ward accessed restricted materials multiple times. The adjudicator didn't look at the prosecutor. She looked at the hologram. Zoom in. Frame 27. The hologram changed. A new detail pixelated into sharp clarity. A second ID. Overlapping is. Layered wrong. The adjudicator leaned forward. That is impossible. An ID cannot occupy identical frames without manual override. The prosecutor shifted. Could be a glitch. It's a manual override, she said. Forgery. Murmurs ripped through the room. She swiped the hologram again. Extract metadata. Show device signature. The display narrowed. Device signature, supervisor ID, Braden Holt. The room exploded in whispers. The prosecutor's face drained of color. The adjudicator lifted her gavel, but didn't strike it. Mr. Holt, she said, voice razor-sharp, step forward. The supervisor, mid-40s, expensive cufflinks, smirk that crumbled by the second, stood frozen. Your Honor, there must be an explanation. She tapped her wrist display. Security drones materialized from the wall like steel insects. Detain him. Investigate his accounts. The drones moved. Holt panicked. You can't do this. I'm protected. I answer to directorate, not. She stood. You answer to the truth. The drones escorted him out, shouting. Silence imploded behind him. Then she faced Elias. Approach. His legs felt like concrete as he stepped forward. Based on the forensic evidence, she said, voice warming by degrees, you are cleared of all accusations. Your employment record will show no disciplinary action. He swallowed. Thank you. But we are not done. She turned to the prosecutor. Dismissal of the case is not enough. This man lost hours of income, stability, his son's security. Elias's breath caught. Prepare documentation for compensation and reinstatement with wage back pay. The prosecutor nodded weakly. Elias stared, unable to speak. She finally looked at him, and something in her eyes softened. You fought alone, she said quietly. You shouldn't have had to. He opened his mouth. Her wrist display chimed. The moment vanished. Tribunal adjourned. The gavel cracked, but this time it sounded like freedom.